This month on the Key Figures podcast, we are joined by Erik Swerts, CEO of Alphabet Belgium and Luxembourg. He has more than 35 years of leasing experience and has held various positions at Alphabet. What key figures does Erik consider essential for good business management?
What are the things you look at selecting a CFO? Obviously, in my role as a headhunter in finance is extremely important for that, but I would like to get your view on that. What are the things you look at when selecting one?
Yeah, very good question. And indeed, the CEO, CFO, you know my CFO,
yes,
I think.
Absolutely. Very good
you will don't tell him too much, but too often. But yes, absolutely right. But you also probably will notice this is quite different than who I am, and that touches, I think, the essence of what the selection is, and I can relate to it because I selected the CFO myself a couple of years ago, and of course there is of course he needs to know his trade, but that's easily. You can check that easily. Yeah? Sure. You have university degrees, etc. So between brackets, that's what I call the easy part. What for me was far more important, what CFO do I need as a CEO? Because I know myself. Sure. I told you I'm in this business for quite a long time, which is of course a benefit, but can also be a disadvantage. Yes. Certainly. So what I tried to look at was someone who was, I'm not going to use it in the real thing unless you say it's okay, who can kick my ass.
Yeah, sure. You can do that.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Because I know myself. I know my strengths, but I also know my pitfalls. Yes. You know? And I needed someone who was personality-wise comfortable in challenging me, also not afraid, even provoking perhaps sometimes, and you know my CFO, he's a bit of a provocative guy, yet the tandem works perfectly fine. And that, I'm very pleased with that. And of course you can say, you didn't take the easiest way. No, that's true. It's far easier to have a CFO who simply does what you say. Yes. I don't like that. I don't like that.
It really tells a lot about your leadership skills, both the hard side, the soft side, and also your baseline being principle and value driven, that you have so much emotional intelligence that you know where you need help and that you're vocal about it. And that means that you are attracting people that are complementary in your management team to make the team a much stronger pack, if I may put it that way, navigating towards the objectives that you have. I would like to switch gears on that because I'm sure you as a CFO, you have a lot of things that you focus on. And I always say that the captain of a ship has a dashboard that has a few things on that you navigate on. What are these things for you? What are your key figures?
If I would sum it up briefly, I like to use the word relevance. I will explain in a second what it means. And the second one is people. Relevance, why? For me, you didn't ask the question yet, but the fourth R is relevance. For us, it is really important to be relevant or to be seen as relevant by our customers, by our stakeholders. And of course, we are, even though value-driven and even though we have a vision, a mission, etc., we operate in a real world, which is quite harsh, which has economical laws, etc. And relevance in our trade today is measured at the size of the company, the size in the sense of the fleet. It shouldn't be like that, but it is like that.
Okay.
So
it's literally market.
Literally,
market
so we are. Yes. Okay. How do companies work when they think about mobility? And you know, it's a market which is evolving more and more towards an international market.
Yes.
So the size matters. Okay. So what they do is, we look for mobility outcome. Therefore, who should we approach? And then very often it is still as simple as that. They look, who are the biggest players in the market, whether it be leasing companies or other mobility providers, and that's the people that are invited to discuss. So you have to first make sure that you get in that round. So that is why I don't like it, but it is like that, that the size is indeed relevant. So relevance, and what does it mean? Volume for us. volume in cars, volume in contracts, volume in bikes, volume in everything, all products we have, and of course profitability.
Absolutely.
Our trade, we have in the leasing company, I don't know whether you're familiar with the leasing business.
Yes.
I always say growing volume is in our trade very easy.
Okay.
But doing it with profitability is
It's
a whole
even
different story.
That's where you have
so
a
that's the
strong
one
CFO
thing.
for.
And to finish the story, the second pillar is the people. And why do I mention people? Because we are a company, we don't make anything. We don't make anything. We only render services. And that is something you can't touch. We are part of the BMW group.
Sure.
And of course that beautiful BMW you can touch and feel and you can love. And that will be probably the thing that appeals to you. We don't have that. We only offer a service. And service means an experience, creating an experience. I want you to be happy when you have had a call with Alphabet. Regardless what your question is, regardless what the issue is that you were faced with. And how do I achieve that? By making my people happy.
Can I interject on that? How, in that respect, do you put a lot of emphasis on Net Promoter Score?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Yes, we consider it as an instrument, indeed, to measure where we have to. Honestly, it's more like that. You tend not to look at what goes very well, but you look at the topic. Says, okay, this feedback, we should do something with it. And of course, you see different kinds of reactions. Some of them are incidental and need to be solved on an individual basis. But you also have recurring issues, and then we try to solve it in a structured way in order to progress all the time.
Sure.
Thanks for joining us for our podcast. Please share your comments or review on LinkedIn. To catch all the latest from Key Figures, you can follow our account at Key Figures Recruitment. Thanks again and see you next time.